I think so. We all good? Okay. Good morning, everybody. Jeff the Prosperous here.
Morning.
Morning, guys. Jeff the Prosperous here from Blessings on My Journey. And I'm really excited this morning because I have two special guests. These guys here are my two best friends from the YouTube world. Okay, I have Carrie Mann from Homestead How, and I have Adam here from Carnivore Today. All right, guys, how you guys doing?
Awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah, great. I'm super amazing, actually. To be honest with you, it's my off chemo week, and you guys came from the U.S. to visit me here in Canada, and I'm super thankful, and it's an absolute blessing, guys, that you're here. So I want to, in front of my subscribers, I want to thank these guys because they have made my last 2 days super amazing for myself, my sons, my wife, my family. So thank you.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
And thank
it's
you.
Our pleasure.
Yes. What you're doing is an inspiration, to say the least.
Thanks, Carrie.
Absolutely.
Today I'm here and I'm doing a video here. I'm doing a live stream, and I want to say hi to all my subscribers. I want to say hi to Carrie's subscribers. Hi to Adam's subscribers. Okay. Welcome. This is a video that, or a live stream here video that we're making here because I've had a lot of requests, guys, for my supplement list. Me fighting stage 4 cancer, my supplement list. So that's what we're here for today. Does that sound good?
I love that.
Great. I got a quick story to tell you guys quickly, kind of a funny icebreaker thing here. My outfit today, this is my favorite professional sports team, the Italian national team. So it works out that I just came from coaching something, so I'm wearing that. But on my hat here, on my cap, I don't know if I can zoom in here. I got a pink ribbon here. And a quick shout out. I pray for everybody that is struggling with breast cancer. This is on here. It's not on here for that purpose. It's on here because I am a phys ed teacher and athletic director, and you guys know I've been for 21 years. And last year, when I was, started showing my face around after my diagnosis, and I was showing up to the high school football games, the guy that runs the football program at my high school, leading up to it over the summer, they got brand new football helmets ordered, and they wanted to honor me. And they asked my permission, and I said, sure, you can honor me. So they had these ribbons made up, and on the ribbons, I know I'm not zooming in here, there's a JD, my initials for Jeff the Prosperous. The funny thing is, I think everybody in my hometown thought I had breast cancer, right? It's got JD, it's got the pink ribbon here. I have stage 4 colon cancer. The ribbon probably should have been blue. I believe that's the color. My Azuri blue. I wouldn't mind that. It would match my jacket. But like I said, I pray for everybody that's going through cancer all the time. We all do. It's a serious illness that can take over people's lives, and we're trying our best here. I think our mission, and I love your guys' shirts, by the way, brand new Healing Humanity shirts, and we're trying. Our mission is to heal humanity and to help out, especially with the carnivore lifestyle. Right, guys?
Right. Absolutely.
The proper human diet. Shout out to Dr. Ken D. Berry, and a shout out, thank you, because he's given us permission to kind of use his title, the proper human diet, as much as possible. Anyways, guys, what do you think? What are you thinking?
I'm excited. There's a lot here I want to learn.
Absolutely.
Questions I've got. So
that's great. Yes. And, if questions are coming in and we don't address them, hopefully we can address them afterwards, after the stream.
Right. We'll try to get to them at the end.
It sounds great. So I have in front of me on this table here, guys, I have it divided up. And by the way, I just want to mention right now, before I even begin here, even though at times I joke around me being a high school phys ed teacher, like doctors are here and high school phys ed teachers are right here. But I learned that from Jerry D. He's actually a comedian here in Canada. Jerry D, shout out to you, by the way, because he's a wannabe phys ed teacher and he always said that. But anyways, guys, I'm not a doctor. I have a kinesiology and phys ed degree. I have an education degree. I have 2 degrees, but I'm not a medical doctor. Okay. I have a passion. I've always had a passion for health and nutrition. And I've taught health for the past 21 years to my students in so many different ways and approaches. But I'm not a professional doctor. So I'm going to be talking about my regimen, and people that have been following me on my channel and even your channels, guys, we've been getting a lot of questions, especially on my channel with my subscribers. Hey, Jeff, you talk about your supplement list. What is it? Okay, so this is a good chunk of it right here. This is pretty much most of it, and I'll tell you why. There might be a few pieces missing here and there, but this is my regimen that I built with a few professionals and some, I would call them experts when it comes to knowing and understanding what supplements are. First off, a shout out to my naturopath doctor, Dr. Reed. He is one that's helped me build this. A couple of these supplements I purchased from him, but he's also aware of all the supplements I'm taking, guys. Dr. Reed, he's a naturopath doctor, and I really want to encourage people, not just to have an oncologist, have a naturopath doctor, because they're experts when it comes to stuff like that, and they're studying the up-to-date research. So Dr. Reed helped me build this. I purchased some things from him, not all things, actually. Most of my purchase on the side. And my best friend Dwight, he's become quite the expert by following certain doctors on YouTube that are the real professional experts. So Dwight's helped me build this regimen. A little bit, we met our friend Ronnie Campbell. She's my friend that, she has beaten stage 4 cancer. Okay. She's helped me with some things. Yes. Shout out to Ronnie Campbell and that. So guys, I'm going to get going. Any questions before I get going here?
No, I don't think so. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. Thanks for asking, Adam. I had chemo attached to me on Friday. What day is it today? Tuesday. So I just had my bottle removed on Friday. My weekend was actually pretty good. I jumped into eating again, and a lot of these supplements, most of these supplements, I take while I'm eating, while I'm feasting, because a lot of them are fat soluble as well. So I got to make sure I'm taking them with food. There's certain supplements that I take while I'm fasting, and I'll talk about that. But
Very cool.
I just want to make sure we're covering everything. Is there anything else? Is there the doctors that I maybe follow? Oh, Adam, I think you asked me a question earlier. I forget what it was off the top of my mind. You can look it up. I think it was.
So, which doctors have you learned from on YouTube?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's a very, very important question. Because, like I said, Dr. Reed is my naturopath, and Dwight has really coached me through a lot of my journey. Dwight and myself, especially Dwight, like he watches hours and hours and hours a day of YouTube channel, and for the supplement portion, he is a huge fan of Dr. Peter Osborne, and everybody can look up Dr. Peter Osborne. He's got a great YouTube channel. Okay. And he delves into the science behind all these supplements, especially the vitamins and electrolytes, that, to be honest with you, he will suggest that not just people with cancer, everybody needs to really pay attention to their supplement list and make sure that we're getting our blood work checked, we're getting our urine checked, we're getting all these, even if you can, there's intracellular tests that you can check your levels, so that, for instance, vitamin D3, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. We got to make sure we know why we're taking vitamin D3. And Dr. Peter Osborne explains it to a T. He is absolutely unbelievable when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to supplements. Another one that I want to shout out is Dr. Ben Bickman. And I think in the keto carnivore world, Dr. Ben Bickman is well known. And he is very, very scientific and explaining these as well. So thanks, Adam, for reminding me of that one. I think we'll just jump in it. Does that sound good?
Sure. Yeah, I just have one quick question.
Sure.
Just a quick one. So you said some of these supplements are for people just on carnivore without cancer.
Yes.
Some people argue, well, if carnivore is good, why would you need to supplement? And we were talking about that a little bit with Dwight, and it makes more sense. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. It makes more sense. Dr. Anthony Shafee, I think, addresses this a lot. He says if you eat red meat, you really don't need to take supplements. Dr. Anthony Shafee talks about that quite often. He says, I don't take supplements. I get all my essential vitamins and minerals from my red meat, right? And he's absolutely correct, okay? Especially if you want to compare, from what I've learned, carnivore to vegan or vegetarian, right? In terms of the bioavailability of these vitamins and minerals, definitely red meat. you can get it all and they're bioavailable. Okay. Our body, especially when you're carnivore or keto, our body will absorb those and use those essential vitamins and minerals from the red meat. Whereas the vegetarians, the vegans, they struggle because there's anti-nutrients that are built into those plants, right? That kind of almost rob us of being able to take in those nutrients, those proper vitamins and minerals. If that, and I know, again, I didn't answer your question fully. I think you said for myself, for everybody, okay, if you're metabolically healthy, yes, the carnivore diet, Anthony Shafee is probably correct. Okay. But if you have a lot of issues in life, probably like autoimmune, type 2 diabetes, cancer, cardiovascular issues, even if you're insulin resistant, okay, you struggle with obesity, you're constantly inflamed, okay. Sometimes I question, and even Dwight's taught me, like, I don't know if carnivore is enough. Okay. You need to make sure that, and the best way to do that, and there is testing. Okay. You gotta be, Carrie, you already say, you gotta take your health into your two hands, right? And you have to go out there and you have to be proactive and go to your doctor and say, hey, can you get this vitamin level checked? Can you get my electrolytes checked? Can you get this checked? Can you get my cholesterol checked? Can you do all these things, right? And constantly beyond that, like from 1 month to the next month, it could change, right? Especially when you start using these as a regimen on a day-to-day basis. Absolutely. Does that make sense a little bit?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're gonna jump right in here, and I'm just gonna explain to everybody my supplement list. Myself with stage 4 cancer, what I've built, and I've been sticking to this. I've been on my journey now for about 18 months. This has been about 15 months, pretty strict. And wherever I go, if my family, if we travel to Florida at Christmas, or, in summertime, we go on a vacation or whatever, I have a basket that I take with these things. And it's very, very important that I stick to this. That's one thing Dwight has taught me. I can't be Mickey Mouse. I can't be like, I don't want to be like, I'm taking this week, and then, oh, I forgot for 6 days to take these things. The odd time I miss a day, but I know that the amount that I'm taking, I can get away with the odd one day, but I barely ever miss a day, especially when I'm eating. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start on this side right here. And these are my electrolytes, and I'm actually not missing. I'm missing the labels on a couple of them. I have salt and no salt. I'm going to call it no salt, and I'll explain that in a second. I'm just missing the labels on these. We're shooting here at a different location, and I just brought my shakers, and I didn't have the actual labels. So these are my electrolytes. Okay. And I put them off to the side for a reason, guys, because when I'm fasting, I start to take these too. When I'm in my 5-day fast, probably about day 3, I start to take these. Dwight kind of wants me taking them earlier, but I'll talk about that in a second. So these are my electrolytes, and these I think are essential, not only for people fighting cancer and going through chemo, okay, but for everybody. I think electrolytes are important. They're almost as important as water, how much water we drink, right? So electrolytes, I think I've heard from, I think it might have been Dr. Berg or Dr. Eckberg talk about, we always think our body is made up of just water, right? But it's not just water. It's electrolytes with water, right? Because the water chases the electrolytes, right? So it's very, very important that electrolytes are embedded in everybody's lives all the time, and getting those checked. The next this is kind of like my main thing. I'm going to put this one ahead, but this has to be taken with it. This one here is vitamin D3. And this is probably, of all these things, this is probably my most important one. Okay. And I think more research is being done. Dr. Peter Osborne, Dr. Ben Bickman talks about this. Okay. Because of the deficiencies and probably because of where we live. Okay. Depending on how much sunlight we get, many of us in North America are vitamin D deficient. And if we're vitamin D deficient, from what I've learned, it affects how we take in all this stuff, and it affects our health in so many ways, mental and body. So vitamin D3 is very, very important. And I think there needs to be honest with you, I think there needs to be more medical professionals taking a look at the research done on this, because this is huge for immunity. right? And the immunity for myself, I have to be very careful, especially while I'm going through chemo. I got to make sure my immunity is high. So I'll talk about vitamin D3 in a second, and its partner, okay? It's in behind. I'll talk here a second. And then my third category here is everything I take as a cancer patient, and I'll tell you guys why. So I'm just going to quickly delve in here, hold them up. I hope I'm going, sorry, this is kind of like my first, I'm kind of hosting you guys.
Yes.
Am I doing a somewhat?
You're nailing it.
I just got to have a little bit of sip here. Okay, I don't know if I can advertise the company, but.
And I'm going to jump in and out just to check the chats and stuff. So if you see me leave, that's why.
That sounds good, Carrie. Thanks a lot. So Adam and Carrie, I'm going to start with my first one. And this is a beauty because Dwight has taught me this. Carrie has taught me this through eating. Even yourself, you use it as well. This is Regimen fine salt. Okay, and we are salty mammals. Okay, we need to make sure that we've been taught for some reason that we need to avoid salt for so many reasons. Okay, they talk about cholesterol. They talk about your blood pressure. They talk a lot of things, but salt has got a bad rap for so many years, and it's crucial. Okay. That we have the most adequate amount of salt in our bodies all the time. And so this here, and I'll be honest with you, my sons, you guys met my sons, eh?
Oh yeah.
Peter and Dante.
Great kids.
Thanks. They are athletes and they are carnivores, animal based. Sometimes my son Peter, he goes, Dad, I'm doing a shot of Regimen fine salt, and he calls it no salt. And I'll talk about the no salt in a second. They do it before going to soccer.
Nice.
They do shots in a glass of water. They put, a teaspoon of Regimen fine salt and a teaspoon of no salt, and they do a shot before athletic performance. Now, the old school coaches will say, don't eat salty foods when you come to sports, right? But they know what this electrolyte salt does for the muscles, okay? And the muscles work off of sodium, and it also works off of potassium. So I'm going to tell you this. So when I'm fasting, guys, and this is in my fasting category, and I do this on a regular basis too, even when I'm eating, I will do, especially when I'm fasting, when I notice my energy levels getting low and my body's getting weak, my muscles aren't responding properly, I will do, and I think, Carrie, you did this on your fast, right?
You told me to, and it worked.
And it worked. In a glass of water, I will put a tablespoon of Regimen fine salt, and this in here is called no salt. And I don't have the label on here. It's just a brand, no salt, but it's potassium. Okay, so that's what it is, and it's great to cook with too, to be honest with you. So you got your Regimen fine salt and you got your potassium. We do a shot of it. I do a shot of it. I did it on in my 5-day fast. I started doing it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I fast Sunday to Friday. You did a shot of it, right?
Oh yeah.
Tastes like you're drinking the ocean.
Yep.
Okay, right. Kind of a little bit hard to swallow sometimes. I get a little bit of a gag, but it's essential. These are electrolytes, salt and potassium. Very, very important.
Okay. I like doing it that way too, versus drinking the element all day and you get kind of that weird taste. It's just one shot and you're done.
Yes, and you're done. That's right. So you suck it up. I always say, suck it up, buttercup. Okay, and move on with the day. Right. That's my teaching talk. The next one is zinc. Okay, zinc is an electrolyte that our body uses for so many things. It's actually, from what I know, there's so many things, and you can take a look at Dr. Peter Osborne and Ben Beckman talk about it. But it opens the door. It opens the door to your cells in terms of getting, especially like getting your vitamin D3 and on all your supplements. It's the electrolyte opens the door. The next thing on the list is magnesium. Okay, magnesium. I have magnesium biglycinate. This is a really good brand here that I'm holding. Magnesium is important for so many things. Okay, a lot. And again, I'm not going to rhyme off all the things that's important for it because I want people to check out, those professional medical doctors. This is good for calming of the muscles. Okay, I know that from experience, and sleep. Yeah. Okay, sleep is a big thing with magnesium, right? It brings it brings in melatonin into the cells and everything. Okay, so I think that magnesium is very, very important electrolyte.
Dr. Ken Berry has a really good video on how most people are deficient in magnesium.
Yes,
I've been taking one every night before bed. I sleep so much better on it.
To be honest with you, I think the vegetarians and vegans are more deficient because back in the day, our soils were filled with more magnesium, from what I've learned, and now it's less and less, right?
I think it's interesting too that you have magnesium glycinate.
Yes,
because I had an issue with the magnesium malate.
Yes,
which is in the element
That's correct.
And I built my own supplements, essentially my own element using their recipe. And I had an issue with the malate, so I had to switch to the glycinate.
Dr. Peter Osborne does an amazing video on magnesium, and he goes through the glycinate, the malonate, like which one is the best form of magnesium that we should be taking and why we should be taking it. So Dr. Peter Osborne's excellent in that. The last electrolyte here I have is iodine, and iodine is important for so many things. It's an electrolyte. Main thing is thyroid. It's very important, but a lot of autoimmune diseases, it's an electrolyte that helps out with the normal function of the thyroid here, the glandular system function. Okay, so iodine, sometimes known as kelp. Okay, it comes from kelp. Okay, so that, and here's the thing: we're carnivores, but we know, like sometimes some of these plants, if they extract the right chemicals from them, they're useful for our body. And they can be used for medicinal purposes. Yeah. Right. So this is why, us three, we're not going out to eat a salad after this. Right. Right. No. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to go kill some beef right now. Right. Some burgers. We're going to pick my boys up for lunch, and we're going to go eat some burgers. So a lot of these things are derived from plants. We totally understand that.
Right. Okay. Dwight yesterday, shout out Dwight again. That was one thing he said that was really awesome. He's like, plants are for medicine. You shouldn't just be eating medicine all the time. I was like,
Dwight refers to the indigenous ancestral ways of living, and that's what our indigenous people did. They used plants for medicine when needed, right? Okay, so I'm gonna, before I even get into here, because I'm gonna be really quick here. I said vitamin D3 is probably one of the most important things that I embedded, and I think in video 2 on my channel, I talked about what I think caused my cancer, and from me getting to know my own body and the way I was pre-diagnosis, I know I was probably insulin resistant, leaning towards diabetes, and I know that I had a certain lifestyle of eating and maybe even consuming alcohol, but I definitely know that vitamin D3, I was low, because every single winter, I had this version here in Ontario. We call it SADS. I don't know, you guys got seasonal affectionate disorder. Oh, yeah. Like I had the January, I had the blues, and I struggled for I've been teaching 21 years. Past, before diagnosis, the past 18 years, I struggled, and I always talk to my wife about this, and the odd time I mention to my kids, but my wife heard it all the time. She's like, "Oh, great, Jeff's going through the blues again." Okay, and that midwinter thing, it happened all the time. And vitamin D, it does affect the mind, but it does affect the body a lot of ways too. And this is what I learned. And I think everything will go wrong inside of us if we are vitamin D deficient. And all these other vitamins, okay? And hold on a second, guys. No, that's not an important phone call. Okay, I just got to check. Sometimes I get important phone calls. I got medical doctors. I got people I need to check, right? That was like someone from we got a pet. It was like some kind of pet specialist, right? We got our first dog. We got Mario the other day, a couple weeks ago. But anyways, it's very, very important, vitamin D3, because it brings a lot of other vitamins and minerals into the cells. Using your organs if you have the right levels of vitamin D3. Okay, so that's what I've learned about that. The other thing, and I put this holder behind here because this is K2. And you can get K2 from a lot of animal products, right? Eggs is huge, I believe, right, in K2. But when you're taking vitamin D3, for it to work the best, they always say K2 should be taken with it. So this bottle here has K2 and D3, and I don't even count the D3. Like the D3 in here is like 1,000 international units. I think these bottles here are 2,000 international units, but I've been taking quite a bit, and I've been checking my blood. So if I spew out a number, I'm not even going to spew out a number how much I take a day. We can get into that later on, because some people are, oh, you're going to have vitamin D3 toxicity. Okay, everyone gets all scared, right? But little do they know, you go out into the sun, and a fair-skinned person with total exposure to sun for 30 minutes, they're actually getting between 20 and 30 international units. Their body is transforming the UV rays into vitamin D3 in your body. Okay. In 30 minutes.
20 to 30,000
international units.
Wow.
So people are like, I think, Canada Health, World Health, some people I've heard take 1,000 international units a day. Take And then I've heard some naturopaths take 5,000 international units a day. But there's a lot of research being done. And Dr. Peter Osborne says how much we can take in. Here's the thing, and I advise everybody at home, if you don't believe that you're vitamin D deficient and you think I'm taking too much, I get my vitamin D checked on a regular basis having cancer.
And your levels are good?
And my levels are very good. Okay. So anyways, I had to check there again. Once again, sorry, I'm gonna put this phone like in this couch because I don't want this to interrupt me anymore. Okay. So here I am talking about that, and I think my levels are good, but you got to make sure you get your blood level checked, your vitamin D3. Okay. And because we all need to be taking it. Now, these I'm going to rhyme off very quickly, and I don't want to talk too much here because we have a few things we need to get done today, and I wanted to make this short and sweet, okay, in terms because a lot of people have been asking Jeff what he's been taking. So I'm going to go through here, Adam, and just rhyme this off. This here is from Dr. Reed. He highly suggests curcumin and turmeric, okay? Curcumin and turmeric is a natural anti-inflammatory and pain relief, okay? Very good for cancer patients for sure, okay? The next thing on my list is my omega-3s, and there's a good level of EPA and DHA in here. I take that. Once again, I'm not going to get into how much I take. I can answer those questions later, and we can even do an additional video. And I might even invite my friend Dwight on to talk about that a little bit more. Okay. So my omega-3s, I make sure I'm taking that. And I also have cod liver oil. Okay. These oils here, these things are huge for anti-inflammation. Okay. So that's the main, there's so many purposes of these oils. Okay. These oils that you get from, you get from fish and you get from your cod liver that help with inflammation. And cancer patients, believe me, you need to be concerned with inflammation. Okay. The next three, I'm just going to point these. I got a vitamin B100 complex. I got a B12, and I have folate, which is a B9. These three, I actually, and by the way, all these I've been embedding over the last 15 months, except the Bs. I kind of just am learning that Dwight got me taking these Bs probably about 3 months ago. And this is why my energy's gotten even better, Adam, because chemo patients, chemo it doesn't just affect the cancer cells inside you, it affects all the cells. And and sorry my English, it kicks the poop out of you.
Right.
Okay. It destroys you. Right. And energy levels. So vitamin B is very, very important for your energy levels. Okay. So as a chemo patient, I started embedding vitamin Bs, and I've been noticing it's improving me even more. Okay. On my energy level and my functions throughout the day. So I've just added that in. Then I got over here, I got this back row here. Half of this back row right about here, I still take. I've kind of stopped taking these, but they're important too, but I'll tell you why I stopped taking them later on. I have a green tea extract, and green tea, EGCG is the chemical, okay, that's in green tea, that is supposed to be a glutamine suppressant. Dr. Thomas Seyfried talks about how things cause cancer, right? Glucose and glutamine. So I want to try to suppress glutamine as much as possible. I asked Dr. Seyfried this last week. He said through fasting is the best way, and he does have some medicines that help it. He did say it's not going to suppress it. If you drink, like Dwight always says, Jeff, you need to be drinking like 20 green teas and 20 matchas a day. Like, and you know what? Green tea makes me pretty nauseous, right? For sure. So it's tough. I take this because I believe in that chemical EGCG that is in here that can help fight or starve the cancer cells. Okay. Then I have milk thistle. Milk thistle, if you do the research on that, it's good for liver. It's good for liver regeneration. Okay. My liver is fully covered. Okay. So I take milk thistle. Ronnie Campbell told me she took this milk thistle as well. So I had that. Beef organs. Beef organs are a good thing because there's so many minerals and vitamins in beef organs. And I know we were having a discussion earlier, Adam, about liver, right?
Yep.
And how important consuming liver, especially if you're fighting diseases, right? Right. So I take I started taking beef organs a while ago. This is very important. Dr. Reed got me on this. I'm a big fan of bulletproof coffees. Okay. And what they do is you can have coffee with butter, and then you can add in this bulletproof. Okay. And this is MCT oil, C8. It's called brain octane. Okay. I also, when I'm fasting, to up my ketone levels, because ketones they help me with energy as well. When I'm fasting, so I could probably move this over here if I wanted to. When I'm fasting, I just do shots of this without even the coffee. Okay, because there's something called a bulletproof coffee where you do this, butter, coffee, okay, and it's a good little cocktail. Okay, but when I'm fasting, I make sure if I want more ketone production, Dr. Reed got me doing this. This one is collagen. Collagen has many benefits, okay, especially working with vitamin C. It helps the connective tissue and stuff like that. I was taking this a lot for the first year. I kind of toned it down. I think we can get a lot of collagen in animal products. If you're eating like close to the bone and stuff like that, I think we really can. So I kind of toned it down on that. Garlic is something Dwight got me taken probably 18 months ago. Garlic has cancer fighting agents. The only thing I find with garlic, and people gotta be careful, it gets you gassy. So it was getting me really gassy. So I toned it down. I don't take this as much anymore. I'm kind of shying away from plants as much as possible. And I see the guy, like it doesn't matter if I'm taking this or I'm eating garlic cloves. There's some negative effects to that, right? I was taking this for about a year and I stopped taking it once again. I know a lot of these are derived from plants, but this is a broccoli supplement. Sulforaphane. Sulforaphane, there's a lot of doctors that talk about the cancer fighting agents from sulforaphane. So if I had to eat a broccoli or take this, I would be taking this, because from what I've learned, there's too many anti-nutrients and toxins in a broccoli.
Right.
I'd rather take the sulforaphane directly. Okay. So I was taking that. The last thing here is an alkaline powder. Dr. Reed's got me. I add this to water once in a while. I try to drink high alkaline waters. There's high alkaline waters. Alkalinity also fights cancer. So that is, in a nutshell, like on a regular basis, I take between 14 to 16 supplements here. Okay, there was a couple more that Dr. Reed had me on earlier, something called Deep Immune and something called Wheat Germ. I experiment taking things in and out because right now I'm a living test tube, and I think I've earned the right to do that. So I've been experimenting taking things in and out. Everyone knows I was getting high dose vitamin C for a while. I'm off that right now because I'm experimenting with that. I'm sorry. I feel like I just ran a marathon there.
That was great. That was great.
Good.
One thing I've noticed that's missing from this is Ensure.
You know what? That's comical, Adam, to say that. But if you want the option of Ensure, you can join me next Wednesday, okay, at chemo, because they have a fridge of Ensure, which has got about 42 grams of carbs and a bunch of sugar, mostly sugar in that.
Tragic.
Yes, bunch of questions.
Should we hit some questions?
Yeah, let's hit some questions for sure.
All right. I'll just read them from here, so I'm off screen, but they can probably hear me. Here's the first one.
Adam, I'm just going to interrupt. We have to, the only reason why, guys, if we cut short these questions, we have to leave just because we promised to get my 5 minutes. We promised to get my sons. We're picking them up for carnivore lunch.
So we'll do a quick super round, but leave comments below and we'll try to get to them later. First question, where can I get the Regimen salt?
Oh, that's good. I guess I'll answer that. Regimen fine salt. Here in Ontario, by the way, Loblaws, Dwight taught me this, Loblaws superstores have them all over the place. A lot of grocery stores do. Sometimes they're in the normal salt section. Sometimes they're in the health section. I also start buying mine off of Amazon. I'm going to actually give a shout out to you, Carrie. If they want part of your fundraiser for our documentary, they can make a donation and they can get some Regimen fine salt, right? You want to expand on that?
We have the travel size pack at carnivoredietmovie.com.
Yes.
And the new website's coming soon, but yeah, just visit carnivoredietmovie.com. The next question we had, this one might be more for Adam. I think you mentioned, what is the lower cost equivalent of Element, like if you make it yourself?
I buy mine from bulk supplements. So just buy a big bag of it. It's maybe like $20, and literally it would last probably 5 years, each one of those bags. So you may be $60 into it total for everything, and you're going to have enough electrolytes for 5 years.
That's amazing. You guys have been talking to me about, I've been asking them questions about Element, because that's something I think me on the go and me and my sons and I as athletes, I think that might be something I should be looking into purchasing as well.
Okay. Freya asked, can anyone recommend a good site for organ capsule supplements?
Organ capsule supplements. So my beef organs, The site, I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. Okay. Because I have a great site. I can look it up, but I'm going to get, what's that person's name?
Freya.
Freya, I'm going to get back to you. I actually have a former student of mine that I taught. He married a naturopath doctor, and they live north of Toronto, and they hooked me up with the site she orders from. Okay. So I'm going to look that up, and then Freya, I'm going to get back to you. Okay. Sorry about that.
Mika, any idea how supplements would differ for a woman still in childbearing age? That's a
real good question. And it all depends. I think a woman in childbearing age, here's the thing. The first thing I think of is I think of what type of diet they're on. Right. I think that's a main thing. Right.
Absolutely.
Like, are you keto? Are you carnivore? Are you paleo? Are you a vegetarian? Because a vegetarian, that's in the and a lot of females sometimes are in the vegetarian realm and vegan realm. You're not getting your bees, and bees are essential, right? So you want to make sure, I think, especially if you're trying to have kids, you got to make sure you're getting your levels checked. Okay. And depending on what kind of type of diet you are, I'm pretty sure all vegetarians and vegans, they're going to have to supplement with B12 for sure. Okay. So that's the best way I can answer that one.
The best way I could answer that is to add to that, that was great, Jeff. Sign up for Dr. Berry's Proper Human Diet Health Group, and they provide a lot of assistance in there in terms of things like this. So if you want to ask specific health questions and potentially get an answer from the doctor himself, that's a great place to do it.
Right. Someone left a comment. They just said, be sure to check all of the nutrition labels on any supplements you get, because some of them might have sugar in them. So be careful that way.
Thank you for saying that. Someone commented that.
Yes.
That to be honest, that's the biggest joke ever. Okay. And I did it for years. I'm guilty of it. I was buying my sons those multivitamins, you get from Costco, right? Those gummies. Oh, I wanted to like pop like 20 or 30 when I'm carb addicted, sugar addicted.
Take them to the movie theater.
That's right. That's what I'm eating. And you know what? 100%. You got to make sure, do not take those sugar or those sweetened supplements for sure. Right.
Well, we got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up.
Go pick up the boys.
Hey guys, I just want to say, like, this is kind of like my first, I was kind of like the host here, right? Yeah. This is kind of my first hosting, and there's not two better guys that I would rather do this with. Thank you. I just want to thank them once again for coming from the US, coming to visit me. What it does for me, as I'm fighting stage 4 cancer, like you guys are making me so relaxed and calm, and my mindset, and I'm feeling good. And it helps. It helps people. Like, surrounding yourself with the right people in life helps, especially when you're going through something that I'm going through right now. So thank you guys. You guys are a blessing. I love you guys. Okay.
Love you, brother.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, see you later.
And just one last thing.
Yeah.
Check out these guys' channel. I have a link in the description for both of them. Blessings on my journey. He's so close. Get him there. He just needs a couple more subscribers, and you're doing some great videos and some shorts and everything.
Thank you.
And Adam too, Carnivore Today. Check him out. Subscribe. Give him some love and support. Thank you guys.
And Carrie at Homestead Howe.
Yes.
The man.
I like watching Carrie cut wood, by the way. Keep doing it.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Thank you.